Hey everyone, Denise here again with another quick and easy, well maybe not so quick, Christmas card that we did in November. Now this card was one of 3 that we did in a class, though we do the videos separate. If you're interested in the die, I'm not sure how the die is working with the at home or kits to go classes, so you'll have to check with Christina about that. But the die is available for purchase. So if you want to recreate this card or the hot foil card that we did, even though you don't need hot foil to do it, or the gold and silver card that we did with this tree die, you'll need to ask Christina about that die and the class. At this point, I don't have information how it's going to work to go. So, which is why I'm mentioning it to you. So, thank you for buying the kit and for supporting our small business. What you have in your kit is, I don't know if it's the tree cut out or if it's a panel. So if you have a 6x8 panel, then you're going to need the die or something similar. If you have a tree cut out, then you're ready to go. That said, you're going to head on over to the tutorial I did about magicals. We used Lindy's Magicals on these. In the Jingle Bells collection that they have, I used the ones that were red, green, and gold, and it's the lighter of the 2 greens that are in there. One looks black on the cover, but it's not. It's actually a very dark green, but I used the lighter of them. And I did a tutorial when we were doing a group order on how to use the Lindy's. So I would say at this point, head on over to the Magicals video and take a look at it so that you can get your stuff together. You may have some magicals in your kit. I'm not sure if you had to purchase them separately or if a little went home with you. A little goes a long way, as you'll see in the video. I would grab, maybe if you just have a small little paintbrush, you're not a big print, like a little watercolor brush or any kind of cheap little brush will do. I wouldn't say a Q-tip because it would probably hold the powder, but even like a coffee stirrer, that'll work. Anything really, your finger, but I would do it on a glove because you don't want to get it stuck on your finger. And you need a mister, a water mister. I would say some paper towels for sure, your surface covered in some kind of plastic, and maybe a heat tool might be good for this one. So gather those things and head on over to that video. When you're done with that, come on back. When your tree's all done or your panel's all done, come on back and then finish this up, because that's really all there is to this. It's, you have your card, right? Make sure that the fold is facing the right way, right? To mine, it's to my left. You have your embossed side. Now what you just have to figure out is if you want the embossed side facing up, right? Or the debossed side, right? You see the raised, almost arabesque here, right? See how they're raised? So that's the embossed with an E side, or the debossed side where they're like indented. So whichever side you like best. I tend to flip them around, use both sides for this. I like the embossed side though. And then your tree is going to go right on top. I did foam tape the tree, and then I put my rhinestones on. There is a bow. I just misplaced mine for the moment. There's a gold bow. Goes right on the bottom, and you're done. The most to do with this card is the magicals, but if you were doing this at home on your own, I used watercolor paper for this. And if you are doing it that way, what I would do is I would do a whole 12 by 12 sheet of watercolor paper. I'd do the whole thing. Then I would cut it down for what I needed to run my die through, because it's easier to do a full sheet of magicals than to do, now this is a 5x7 die, so I would recommend a 6x8 sheet, right? If you're going to just do a piece, because you don't want to give yourself so little room that if the die goes off, now you've wasted that. So I did a 6x8 because I like an inch cushion or a ½ inch cushion, either way, up to you. But if I do a 12 by 12 sheet, or whatever size you want to cut your watercolor paper to, if it comes in a big pad, it's just easier. You're going to get a different looking tree every time. Your tree is not going to look like mine at all, because it depends on how much water you use and how much pigment you use. But again, that's covered in the other video. But I would just do a full sheet. That way I can dry it, cut it, and that way you've got the magicals out all at once. They're dried all at once for however many trees you're making. And then I would cut and assemble from there. So that's my advice with this class. So head on over to the magical video, and then you just foam tape this and call it a day. And it really is, it's so pretty. I wish you could see the detail in person on the camera, but they're shimmery. Oh, you can see the shimmer there, right? They're not as shimmery as Wink of Stella. It's very subtle until you pick it up and you see, and it's just got a little shimmer, but it's not glitter. It's really pretty and nice. It's got some texture to it, but not thick texture, just really kind of elegant looking. So thanks for supporting our small business and for buying the card kit. Again, if you have any questions at all, please contact Christina. Join us on the Facebook group at Scrapbooking Stuff Group. Be sure to post your creations when you make them. If this tutorial or the magicals is helpful for you, click the like button so we know to continue them. And if you click the bell, you'll be notified anytime we put up a card class or product tutorial. Thank you for supporting our small business, and we hope to see you in a class soon.